Welcome aboard Rocket Ship, the platform with the most relevant content for competitive examinations. As part of our answer writing series on general studies papers of civil service main examination, we take up a question that might appear in GS paper 3. So, here goes the question. The ongoing insurgency in Myanmar gives rise to many security challenges for India. Elaborate. Discuss what can be done to effectively counter these challenges. So we have to we have to write about the security challenges that might come from the ongoing insurgency in Myanmar, and in the second part we have to uh, give ways in which we can effectively counter these challenges. So we start with a little bit into the historical background, little bit into the background of the insurgency in Myanmar. That is, right at the height of the coronavirus pandemic, the Myanmarese military overthrew the democratically elected governments. Since that date, that is 1st February 2021, it's easy to remember, there has been an insurgency in Myanmar with the ruling military junta pitted against pro-democracy groups which have been reinforced by many ethnic group insurgents. Actually, what has happened? There are many minority ethnic groups in Myanmar, and in this insurgency, they have taken the side of the pro-democracy groups, that is, the pro-democracy activists against the military junta. The insurgency has deteriorated into a full-scale civil war. It's no longer a small-scale insurgency but has taken a full-scale civil war proportion, and in which 50,000, almost 50,000 or even more than, slightly more than 50,000 people have been killed. We have we have mistakenly mentioned they have died, but you should mention they have been killed. 50,000 people are estimated to have been killed in the civil war, while the fate of the opponents still hangs in balance. Actually, what has happened, that the civil war has turned into a checkmate in which neither of the parties has made progress at the cost of the other, where both the parties are stuck. Sharing 1643 kilometer of boundary with Myanmar and having a porous border, India faces major challenges to its security from the Myanmarese civil war. Again, you can see that we have a fairly long border with Myanmar, and before the insurgency, before the civil war, we had maintained a porous border because due to long and good relations between India and Myanmar. And now this very long and porous border has become a security challenge. So what type of security challenges are posed by the Myanmarese insurgency? What type of security challenges originate from the Myanmarese insurgency? First is influx of refugees, which can destabilize demographic balance. Actually, if there is an unchecked influx of refugees, some of the ethnic groups on the Indian side of the border would turn into a minority eventually. This is the apprehension that has been raised by the Meitei people in Manipur, the Meitei ethnic group in Manipur. Then is increase in infiltration of the insurgent groups to Indian side fleeing the military crackdown. Arms and narcotics smuggling. Arms smuggling to conduct the military operations, and narcotics to fund the insurgency. Outside interference in India's sphere of influence. You can well understand that till now Myanmar was on good terms with India, and you could say that it was effectively in India's sphere of influence. But with outside interference in the insurgency, in the civil war, there is a risk that these outside powers would grow at the expense of India, at the cost of India. It poses hurdles to regional cooperation and connectivity. For an example, if we cannot undertake regional cooperation when there is unstable situation in Myanmar, and also connectivity projects, for an example roads and railways, cannot be undertaken nor completed. Now taking up these points in detail. First is fear of demographic change. You can well appreciate that with ethnic ties across the border, that some of the tribes in India or in Myanmar, that is vice versa, have ethnic ties across the border. That is, Myanmarese tribes have relations with Indian tribes and Indian tribes have relations with Myanmarese tribes. So with this type of ethnic ties, the refugees fleeing military conflict, military crackdown actually, are naturally fleeing to India. This may destabilize demographic balance and widen existing fault lines. Intertribal conflicts, for an example, demographic balance. The Kuki-Meitei conflict in Manipur was exacerbated by fears of demographic change. Actually, there were many other underlying causes of the Kuki-Meitei conflict, but after this insurgency, after this civil war, when the Kuki and the affinity groups, for an example Zomi and others, were fleeing into Manipur, then Meitei people have raised this apprehension that ultimately they would be reduced to the status of a minority in their own land. So this apprehension, this fear had exacerbated the conflict. Some insurgent groups in Myanmar maintain ties with insurgent groups in India. They may seek shelter in India, and in lieu of this shelter, they might provide training and logistic support to Indian insurgency groups. This is a major headache to Indian security agencies. To fund and execute the insurgency, there might be increase in narcotics and arms smuggling. You can understand how. Now, this is a very important point. While normally we would take a very narrow view of security issues, here we are taking a wide view of our security interest and going into a strategic side, into the very geopolitics of India, and its surrounding region. China has taken an ambivalent but pro-junta position. Actually, China has played very smartly, a very shrewd game. It has not taken an explicit position whether it is supporting the junta or the pro-democracy group, but it has tilted on the side of the junta and supplied it with arms and ammunition. Similarly, the US has propped up the insurgents. US has taken the side of the insurgents. This outside interference is not in India's strategic interests. You can understand that when outside parties are interfering in your sphere of influence, they would ultimately try to grow at your expense. That is, they would try to increase their influence at the cost of India's influence. Their influence would increase and India's influence would decrease. So ultimately it is not in India's strategic interests. The insurgency puts insurmountable obstacles to regional integration. Plans like the Mekong-Ganga cooperation, we have discussed it a few days ago in one of our lectures. Mekong-Ganga cooperation and infrastructure projects like IMTT highway, that is India, Myanmar, Thailand trilateral highways, are inordinately delayed. You can well understand that with the insurgency, insurgency and civil war in Myanmar, these regional integration projects cannot be completed. Now, how do we tackle these challenges? First is the most basic, that is we must intensify policing of the border region, that is surveillance and security measures. In this regard, this is very important, please underline it. The Honorable Home Minister has informed the Parliament that the entire 1643 kilometer of the border is to be fenced, and in fact he has said that the fence would have a patrolling track running along it, so that both patrolling can be taken along the fence, and the fence would itself act as a barrier to the insurgents as well as to the refugees. Now, considering the cross-border affinities, as we have discussed that some of the tribes have cross-border affinities, we should adopt a humane approach. Again, even otherwise, we should have a humane approach towards the refugees fleeing conflicts. At the same time, to assuage the fears of demographic change, they should be widely distributed. What we are essentially saying that rather than sheltering, for example, all the refugees in Manipur, we should distribute them throughout Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram, etc. In fact, most of the refugees fleeing to India have affinities with the Mijos, that is the ethnic groups of Mizoram. So it would be better that most of them, in fact majority of them are settled in Mizoram, so that other states would have much less to fear. India enjoys goodwill among both the warring groups. It can bring them on negotiating table. However, we must be very careful that India has good relations with both the parties, and it should not appear that India is trying to interfere in the internal affairs of Myanmar. So, with keeping this in mind, we should again try to keep the back channel options open and try to convince these parties to come to the talking table. Now, this is relevant to India. The peace efforts with insurgent groups like NSCNIM, that is National Socialist Council of Nagaland, Ajak Muiwa Group, Mizo National Front, etc., should be extended to the splinter groups too. What has actually happened, that the major groups have already signed peace efforts, that is ceasefire agreements with India, but some of the splinter groups, that is some of the breakaway groups, have not yet signed the ceasefire agreements, for example. So it is the high time that these groups too are convinced to sign these peace efforts, so that India would have much less to worry from them. Now the conclusion, what is required is an integrated approach which includes policing, practical approach towards the refugees, both a humane approach as well as a practical approach, back channel diplomacy to convince the warring parties to come to the talking table, etc. And these can help India tackle the challenges. So this is how we sum up our answer for today. But before we call it a day, there is a very important matter to discuss. It was really heartbreaking to know about the tragedy at Rao's IAS circle. The loss of young lives is always painful, but what you should keep in mind, it's a caution for you that at the first sign of a trouble coming up, you should simply flee. जैसे ही आपको लगे कि सामने कोई ट्रबल आ रहा है, whether it's a fire or an earthquake or flooding, whatever it is, you should simply leave that place. Try to evacuate at the first instance. आपको जो है पैनिक नहीं करना है, you should not panic and try to take your friends along with you, but you should flee at the first instance. सीधे भागिए वहाँ पे. Do not show false bravado. आप इसके लिए बने नहीं हैं. You are not trained for these things. So always keep your personal well-being in mind. Take care of your health, and as usual, keep practicing answer writing as well as take a few essay writing practices too. As usual, we wish you all the best. Thank you.